One thing the autistic community is going to have to come to acceptance over is the fact that a lot of you guys are allowed to be aware of your autism. A lot of you guys had supports and people who you grew up with that could see your autism as a unique trait and differences and not as a reason to abuse and reject and invalidate you. Okay? So the reason why I speak about race so much on my page, and white supremacy especially, is because, again, I speak about this on my YouTube page all the time. The white supremacist equation, white people's feelings and opinions are equated at the same value that black people's lives and factual history are related on. Now, let me add into that perspective that because our blackness, for so many white people under a white supremacist fear-based system, our blackness makes white people uncomfortable automatically without even our ability to feel or to do or to instigate. Our presence and existence makes so many white people uncomfortable naturally. We are automatically targeted off of that. Whether it's labels in school, whether it's labels in the parks and public environments, whether it's labels on the media and stereotypical labels. But we are automatically, there's a way this system decides who we are before we even know who we are, and then forces us into that stereotype because it serves the system that needs us to be slaves or complicit in the creation of turning more of us into slaves. And I'm going to add again before I get into the meat of this video. Remember, there's a thing called drapetomania that says slaves who want to run away from their masters are mentally ill. That was a real thing. Okay? Okay. Now, how does this all connect back to autism? I believe that when you take a eugenics Western psychology system that is rooted in whatever the Nazis were practicing during World War II, you apply that to American racism, and then you also apply that to whether it be the medical apartheid happening to black people, or it's the just pure medical discrimination, the lies and the opinions that black people don't feel pain, the lies that black people are this and that, and all these other things to justify experimenting and abusing and exploiting us. Okay? But our trauma, again, by the white supremacist aspect of this system, will forever be invalidated due to that initial ideology that says white feelings are more valuable, truly, or significant than black lives. So how does this tie all the way into understanding autism? Because black people, and marginalized people too, but black people especially, are so dehumanized in our existence. When we communicate, like, we are not humanized by any system. When we communicate our needs or our experiences from our position, our autism many times comes out from our mouth through the way of what can be interpreted by white supremacist ideology as borderline personality disorder and intense CPTSD and or schizophrenia. But instead of going automatically to, oh, is this an underprivileged autistic person who has been enduring circumstances that have been forced upon the person by the system, by their experiences, by their family? It's, no. This is a crazy black person. And if they haven't done anything to justify throwing them in jail right now to protect my insecurity, we're going to put a label on them that lets the world know, hey, this person's a crazy. And they don't deserve opportunity because they might fuck up your world. Now not just being black, but also being crazy, mentally ill. Mind you, even if we do go in to get assessments and treatment, if you want to call it that, Where is the educational support? Where is the healthcare and the resources within the Black community to support that kind of, application? Nowhere, because again, we are deprived of opportunities. And I'm not blaming Black people for not taking advantage of opportunities. I'm saying we are deprived of healthcare, education, sustenance to provide for ourselves. So if we don't have all those things and we're already so dysregulated based on our Blackness, how the fuck do you think we'd ever come to the conclusion that we're autistic and ADHD? And how to accommodate that when we're already so traumatized beyond all that? We think that we're wrong and we're different and we're rejected based on the Blackness. And let's get into the conversation of ADHD. Or forgive me. Let's get into the conversation of bipolar and how that's just dysregulated ADHD. And you guys don't want to call it that because you have medications for everything. And that's, again, this might get me canceled. This might get this video busted up, but I don't care. You literally have medications for all of these made up and I'm not saying made up necessarily like it's not real, like bipolar and schizophrenia and BPD are not real. I'm saying it's so much easier to force people onto medications for their entire lives and get money off of insurance companies or get money out of their pocket by telling them they have an identity that you don't seek to actually treat, but you seek to fix them into society with, and then you give them the supplement of drugs for the rest of their lives, never truly addressing how detrimental the systems are at hand, affecting the dysregulation of the person, and not offering opportunities or habits or routines or access to accommodations that are not lifelong addictions to drugs and medications that, again, just avoid or sedate the true issue rather than give us an opportunity to really be able to take care of ourselves in a system that doesn't care for or like autistic ADHD people. So again, we're sitting here having these conversations, and this is another one of those reasons why most people you see speaking on autistic TikTok are white girls. And this isn't anything against you guys. This has stuff to do with the TikTok algorithm and just white women being the most palatable face. But when I sit here and think and I'm listening, and I realized the reason why I can't relate to most of these autistic TikToks, some I can, but a handful of them I can't relate to at all, because I've realized I was never in a position to burn out. I was constantly trying to prove myself to gain validation. I was never in a position to feel my emotions. I was going to have to run through and find the next thing. I wasn't in a position to get an assessment. We didn't have money to do those things. We didn't even have the awareness, the support. We didn't have people in my community or household that were going to support me saying I was autistic. So when you sit here and think about, oh, this world is so traumatizing to autistics and ADHD and neurodivergence, think about the Black people that are not even allowed to accept those aspects of themselves because we are so beat down and traumatized every fucking day by this white supremacist system. That's it.